Welcome everyone. Today's e-learning session is all about math library functions in Java part 2. Yes, you are right. We are going to discuss these 5 math library functions with a lot of examples followed by their executions too. So let's compute. Math.max. Max stands for maximum. This function returns the maximum of the two given arguments. Yes, you have got it right. Whatever may be the arguments, the output would be the maximum among them. Okay. Now the arguments. It accepts two numeric arguments. It could be byte, short, int, long, float, double, anything. Return type always depends on the arguments. Now let us have some examples of math.max, see their executions and make the learning fruitful. First example, both integer argument 10 and 20, output 20, that is the maximum number, return type integer. Second example, first argument 30.7, second argument 20.17. Both are double arguments. Output 30.7 since it is the maximum value present here. Return type double. First argument 3.7f, second argument 6.4f. Both are float arguments. Output naturally 6.4. Return type float. Yes, float. The float indicator F remains invisible during output. First argument 30 integer, second argument 20.17 double. Output 30.0. Due to automatic type conversion, the maximum value 30 has been converted to double. Hence, the return type becomes double. First argument minus 20, a negative integer. Second argument 10, a positive integer. Output 10, the highest integer present here. Return type integer. First argument minus 20.5 double, second argument 20.5 double. Output 20.5 since it is the bigger double value present here, return type double. Well, you have got a real googly here. The first argument 0 preceded by a negation sign, the second argument 0 itself. Well, nothing to worry about also. Math.max should return 0 as output since 0 is the highest integer present here and return type would be int naturally. Math.min, min stands for minimum. It returns the minimum of the two given arguments. Yes, once again you have got it right. Math.min returns the minimum value among the two passed arguments. Well, what could be passed as arguments? Any two numeric value could be passed as arguments. It could be of data type byte, short, int, long, float, double, whatever may be. Return type always depends on the arguments. Now let us have a couple of examples, their executions and make the understanding easier. Example 1, two integer arguments have been passed 10 and 20 respectively. Math.min would return 10 since it is the minimum integer present here and return type int. Next example. First argument 30.7, a double value. Second argument 20.17, another double value. Hence math.min returns 20.17 since it is the minimum value present here. Return type double. First argument 3.7f, second argument 6.4f. Both are float values. Math.min returns 3.7 since it is the minimum value present here. Return type float. Yes, float. The float indicator f remains invisible during output. First argument 30.7 double, second argument 20 integer, output 20.0. Now due to automatic type conversion, the minimum value 20 has been converted to a double value. Return type double. First argument minus 20, a negative integer, second argument 10, another positive integer. Output minus 20 since it is the lowest integer present here. Return type integer. First argument minus 20.5 double, second argument 20.5 also double. Now math.min has returned the minimum double value, that is minus 20.5 as output. Return type double. Well, once again, the first argument 0.0 preceded by a negation sign, and the second argument 0.0 itself, both double values. Now math.min would return minus 0.0 since it is the minimum value present here. Return type double. Let us have a look at math.round. Yes, round stands for rounding off. It returns the closest integer value to the argument passed. And yes, within the brackets you got that right. The value returned would be of type long. To understand the working mechanism of math.round, we should have a close look on the integer line drawn in the whiteboard. Now we should have a look at the rules noted here. The first one says that if the fraction part of the argument is less than 0.5, then the answer would be the same integer value. And if the fraction part of the argument is greater than or equals to 0.5, then the immediate next integer value would be the answer. Yes, you have got it right. Math.round accepts either a float value or a double value as an argument and returns a long value as an output. Well, let us have some examples and see their executions to make it crystal clear. First example, a double value has been passed, that is 70.21. Now look at the fraction part. 0.21 is less than 0.5. Hence, the same integer in form of long would be the answer 70. Next example, 70.5 has been passed as argument. Now come to the fraction part. 0.5 is exactly same as 0.5. Hence, the immediate next integer in form of long would be answered, that is 71. Third example, 70.9f, that is a float value, has been passed as argument. Now come to the fraction part, 0.9, which is greater than 0.5. Hence, the immediate next integer in form of long would be answered, that is 71. Okay, next one, math.rint. This function returns the closest value to the argument passed. Well, actually, the output would be a mathematical integer in form of double. To understand the working mechanism of math.rint, let us have a close look on the integer line drawn. Okay, now come to the rules which you have to remember. The first one is, if the fraction part of the argument passed is less than or equals to 0.5, I repeat, less than or equals to 0.5, then the same integer in form of double would be the answer. Otherwise, if the fraction part of the argument is greater than the 0.5, then the output would be the next integer value in form of double. Yes, you are right. Once again, math.print accepts either a float value or a double value as an argument, and it returns a double value, I'm repeating it, a double value as output. Well, let us have some examples of math.print and observe their executions carefully to make it clear enough. First example, argument 70.21, that is a double value. Fraction part 0.21 is clearly less than 0.5. Hence, the same integer value in form of double would be the output, that is 70.0. Second example, 70.5 has been passed. Fraction part 0.5 is exactly same as 0.5. Hence, the same integer value in form of double would be the output, that is 70.0. Come to the last example, 70.9f has been passed as argument. Now, look at the fraction part. 0.9 is clearly greater than 0.5. Hence, immediate next integer in form of double, that is 71.0. Okay, let us have something which would not be in the books but VVI for the examinations. Let us differentiate between math.round and math.rint. The first point, math.round returns a long value. On the other hand, math.rint returns a double value. If the fraction part of the argument passed to math.round is equal to 0.5, it returns the next integer value in form of long. You see here, math.round results in 11 if the argument is 10.5. Now look at here. If the argument passed to math.rint have a fraction value equal to 0.5, it returns the same integer value. I repeat, the same integer value in form of double. Math.rint results in 10.0 if the argument is 10.5. Well, it deserves a like. Go to the like button right now and hit it. Well, let us have a close look at math.random. It is a very crucial function. It returns a random number between 0.0 and 1.0. Yes, you are right, in form of double, obviously. Argument. It accepts no arguments and returns a double value always. Okay, let us have some examples of math.random and see their executions and make it crystal clear. First example, system.out.println math.random. My goodness, what a tiny number is it? Well, nothing to worry about. Actually, any double value has a precision of 16 places after decimal point. Hence, it is also a double value lying between 0.0 and 1.0 and obviously randomly generated by math.random. Well, is it possible math.random results in an integer? Yes, it is possible. How? Math.random actually results in a double value between 0.0 and 1.0. We have multiplied it by 10 and through typecasting it has been converted to an integer value. Hence, it has no error. This method is actually used while designing a dice game through math.random. Okay, so that's it. If you have any question on this context, do let us know through comments or could be email also. We are very responsive and you know that well. To learn any topic of Java with a lot of examples in a fruitful manner, do subscribe Let's Compute. Thank you for watching.